We've been asking for an SG Junior for ages, so finally we get this. It's an artist signature. Thank God they've been sensible and put a sensible price on it. And this is quite possibly one of the smartest things that Epiphone have done for a very long time. I'm calling it affordable, okay? It's £549 with hard case. I think this is the first affordable signature that Epiphone put out for about 2 years. We're going to look into that later on in this video because I've got some unfinished business and thoughts on the Epiphone pricing strategy. I don't know whose version this is, but it's like Tomo Funky or something, isn't it? Is the guitar any good? Yeah, it is. It's brilliant. I love it. Hello, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Guitaristas. So today, at long last, yeah, after years of hoping and praying and asking, we're finally able to review an SG Junior from Epiphone, and it's affordable. It's bloody affordable. Well, I'm calling it affordable, okay? It's £549 with hard case. And this, of course, is the new Yungblud signature from Epiphone. You've seen it on the interweb. Here it is. I'm going to review it. Yeah, look, you know, £549. You might think, well, it's not affordable. It is compared to what they've been putting out. I think this is the first affordable signature that Epiphone put out for about 2 years, because there have been some pricey ones there. And we're going to look into that later on in this video because I've got some unfinished business and thoughts on the Epiphone pricing strategy. But I'm thinking, you know, maybe they have been listening, because this at 549 English pounds, incidentally, is considerably cheaper than any of the others for the last 2 years. New releases we're talking about. I know they do, you know, the standard range is still making them. So yeah, we don't need to get into that. Well, they still make cheap ones. Yeah, I'm talking about new releases, okay? New release, cheaper than anything they put out in 2 years. We'll fact check that later, and we'll look at, well, we're going to have a bit of fun and look at what you can pick some of those up for now, okay? But first, of course, we're going to review this. So strap yourselves in. It'll be thorough. We'll do all the weights and measures. We'll take it apart. We'll poke it around, and then we'll put it back together and play it. If you're in a bit of a hurry, never fear, never fear. Timestamps are always in the description box, so you can skip forward to hear what it sounds like or whatever it is you fancy. If you've got a little bit of time on your hands, go and put the kettle on, make yourself a nice cup of tea, get a bit of cake, I think today, fruit cake and maybe some biscuit, maybe a fruit cake and a biscuit. I don't know, or maybe it's early in the morning where you are, so maybe cereal's more appropriate. Whatever you fancy anyway, go and do it, come back and chill out and join me, and let's get stuck in as we take a close look at, well, it's my favourite guitar, isn't it? It's the SG Junior. So Yungblud, of course, if you didn't know, I'll be honest, I didn't know. The minute that this dropped, I'm on the Epiphone mailing list, so I got the email, and Yungblud SG Junior, £549. Click buy before I had a Scooby who Yungblud was, and then of course I've done the research, and well, you know, the thing is, you know, when these Epiphone notifications come out, you look at the comments, and straight away there's all these people going, oh, he's this and he's that, and why does he deserve a signature? I mean, get a grip, people. Take a look. He's Dominic Harrison, Yungblud. He's a young British singer-songwriter who's massively successful. Oh, you might not like his music, but he's massively successful. And this is quite possibly one of the smartest things that Epiphone have done for a very long time, signing a Gen Z, massively popular, guitarist. In fact, he's born of. It comes from well, I wasn't how I can phrase this. Actually, I'm going to phrase this. He's the son of a notorious vintage guitar dealer in the UK. Okay, so he's got history, in guitars and stuff, proper. He's part of the community for sure. And what I like about it is the whole Epiphone thinking, all their signatures over. Again, we're going to look at this later, but the last couple of years, some wacky old artist signatures have come out of there, haven't they? It's kind of like, I've said this before, it's kind of like the artist liaison is just like a big passion project, for some high-ranking officer at Gibson Epiphone is into heavy metal or Nashville country, It's the two, it's like, yeah, connects with some of the. No, there have been exceptions. Yeah, I'm talking nonsense. Ignore me. Anyway, Yungblud, great move, Epiphone, because what you're doing here is you're appealing to the young generation, a new generation, and trying to come up with a thumbnail for this week's video. There were lots of thoughts on. Along the lines of blood transfusion for ailing guitar brand, which is pretty much sums up what you've done here, Epiphone. So well done. This guitar is on the radar of the kids out there, and it weren't very long ago that people were saying, well, young kids aren't playing Gibsons anymore, are they, or Epiphones? They're all playing the Fenders. So maybe it's a smart move. So that was all about Yungblud and my ill-informed views on Epiphone signatures. More of that coming up. But now let's look at the guitar, shall we? It's an SG Junior. It's a thing of beauty. Look at it. It's single dog ear P90, wrap over lightning bar tailbridge. What more could you want? Surprisingly versatile guitars. I'll try and show you that in a bit when we play it. Got a mahogany body. It's got a mahogany set neck. There you go. They call this the C slim profile, slim taper. What do they call it? Hang on, I'm just going to look at my notes. They call it the C slim taper. Yeah, and in a second I'm going to put the neck profile and measurements up on the screen. First, let's weigh it. Here we go. 6 pounds, 14 ounces, which is 3.13 kilos. So there you go. It's a pretty light guitar, as you'd expect. It's got a gloss polyurethane finish. It's what they call classic white. In some lights, it doesn't actually look it under these lights, but in some lights, you can almost see a kind of a vague pink tinge to it. But it's a nice looking guitar, and the fit and finish, being poly, it doesn't, when it covers all the joins up and everything. So it's lovely looking. Bevel wise, they all seem to be in the right place. The thing is with SGs, no two ever seem to be the same in terms of the way they cut the bevels and stuff. At first I thought all these are a little bit odd, but if you look at some of my other SGs, they're exactly the same. So, nothing leaps out as being wrong on this particular Epiphone SG. So that's all good. It's got, as I said earlier, C slim taper neck. It's got a tiny bit of a hint of a flatness to it, but it's more C than D. Let's put the profile and measurements up on the screen now so you can see for yourselves. Here's the neck profile and measurements at the first fret, And here's the neck profiler measurements at the 12th fret. In any event, it's nice and comfortable. I've been playing this a lot at home for the last, I've had it a couple of weeks. You can see all the, I haven't taken the plastic off the pickguard scratch plate, but it's taken a beating from my pick there, as you can see. I should take that off in a bit, I think, shouldn't I? Anyway, moving on for now. It's got a Laurel fingerboard, standard Gibson scale length, 24 3/4 inches, medium jumbo frets. Well, let's whip the strings off now and have a closer look at those. Right, here we are, strings off. Look at the board. It's Indian Laurel. It looks nice though, doesn't it? I have been playing it for a couple of weeks though, quite a lot, so it's quite possible that my fingers have oiled the board up a little bit, but it certainly looks, yeah, it looks all right, doesn't it? Out of the box, setup wise, action was a little bit high, so I actually put a little bit more relief in the neck. It was quite flat, so I did tweak the truss rod a little bit, put a little bit of relief in, adjusted the action down a little bit, and it plays fine. Fret wise, great, no sharp frets at all, nice medium jumbo, very comfortable to play, very comfortable to play with the neck. Been really enjoying playing this, so hopefully my practice will have paid off in a bit when we plug it in. So there you go. It's got a Graphtec nut, and it's got these Epiphone Deluxe Clusen style tuners with the white plastic buttons, which look great. So it all looks the part. Kalamazoo headstock, which I love. I love that Kalamazoo headstock. I much prefer it on an Epiphone to, you know, the Gibson. I don't really get why you'd put a Gibson open book headstock on an Epiphone. I think the Epiphone Kalamazoo headstock is what identifies an Epiphone, and this is an Epiphone. So that's right, isn't it? Hardware, here it is. Epiphone lightning bar wrap over tailbridge with these little grub screw adjusters to give you a little bit more back and forward adjustment if you need to for the intonation. The lightning bar, of course, does a fairly good job of intonating this anyway. And there's the single dog ear P90. There you go. Nothing to see under there. Nice 3-ply, nice solid 3-ply pickguard. I'm just going to take this plastic off now. There you go. Yes. Nice jobby. Right, let's take a pickup reading before we have a look under that. Here we go. 8.88 kilo ohms, and the inductance 6.93 henries. That's that. No middle reading today, I'm afraid. There you go. That's the plastic dog ear cover. There's nothing to see, just obviously the route. Let's just have a closer look at that. Here you are, and it's decoding the pickup time. I'm fairly confident in saying that this is P90 dog ear, plastic cover, black, C for coaxial cable. I think that's what that all means. And that just reminds you not to chuck it in a bin. And the ROHS is some kind of safety compliance thing, isn't it? There you go. And this, of course, let's just pop that there. Being the dog ear one, it's got these little legs that screw it to the body. It's the same as the soap bar one, but as you can see, that's got the holes where if it had a soap bar cover instead of the dog ear cover and the legs, so if it didn't have the legs and it didn't have the dog ear cover, it'd be the same, and you'd screw it to the body via these holes there. There you go. So they're the same, but they're just different. And the problem with these is, if you wanted to adjust the height, you can only do it by putting shims underneath the, get that back in there, underneath these legs to kind of lift it up. Okay, there you go. Let's screw that back and then just have a look in the control cavity. Here we are. Little plug-in pickup. 500k pots, and let's see if I can see what that cap reading is. 22.22, or whatever they say. There you go. And as you can see, it's got a large control cavity route, so big enough for the 4 pots. So I'm guessing it's the same route as the SG Special version that they have done for ages. But happy to say it hasn't got a second empty pickup route under the pickguard scratch plate. I would have been disappointed had I found that. So there you go. Just put it all back together, put some new strings on, plug it in, see what it sounds like. See you in a minute. Here we are, new set of strings, Ernie Ball regular slinkies as always. And this is what it sounds like unplugged. Nice and bright. These wrap over tail bridge guitars always do sing. And this is no exception. That's unplugged. Plugged in, using the same rig as always, the Princeton 65, dimed to the edge of breakup through the aux attenuator. You'll hear no pedals initially, but on the board, I've still got the soul food in the rack because I like them and I haven't changed them. If I use them, I'll show you using Crocs cam here. Okay, so let's see what it sounds like plugged in, shall we? I've just rolled it off a bit to what about, what's this on, about 7. And if you roll it up to 10, you get this. Or something like this actually, isn't it? Something like that. I'm going to play that. don't know whose version this is, but it's like Tomo Funky or something, isn't it? Ooh. That's with all the gain, isn't it? Obviously, they've got the rat and the soul food on there. The tones rolled off a little bit there. That's right down, that's on about 4 now. So yeah, that was the funk version of Fleabag. I can't, it's really funny. You have to really be careful with that. Hang on, let's turn that off. Because it's those, I mean, it sounds like several things actually. It sounds like a bit like Smells Like Teen Spirit. It sounds a little bit like Live Forever, isn't it? Or one of their songs. Is it that one? Anyway. But, you know, brilliant little, it's just a brilliant, simple thing. And watch some of his live stuff on YouTube where he gets a kid out of the audience. And I just watched one, it was a couple of years ago, and he obviously gave her his Gibson version of this, and she played along. It was proper rock and roll, it was great. So yeah, great performer. And it's not a bad song, isn't it? I mean, you and I wish we'd wrote that. We did, really. I mean, we've played those chords so many times, haven't we? Here we go. Can't hear the loop. I need to practice, get a little bit faster, get a little bit more going on in those fingers. I must admit, having had this at home, I've picked up a lot. I've played it a lot. I love playing these things. Oh look, yeah, there's a little bit of neck dive, if that's the thing. You know, my tip is to hold the neck of the guitar while you're playing it and you won't notice it. So yeah, all the controls seem to work, don't they? With the volume, definitely. Pretty much all the way through the range. And that's what it sounds like. I think it's safe to say I'm in my comfort zone this week. Love playing SG Juniors. Love SG Juniors. Love playing it. Simple. And it all works. I did record a little bit longer than that, but I had audio problems. The battery ran out in the mic that I'm using this week. So it wasn't much, but it was about another 10 minutes. And I was talking about the versatility. And what I was actually saying was you can't really get a neck, what I'd call a neck pickup sound out of this. You can get, you know, real bright, you can roll the tone off, you can get a real nice mellow sound. You can get a sort of probably a Telecaster neck pickup sound out of it, but not what I would call a good humbucker neck pickup sound, like a Les Paul type or SGE type. A good one. You can get a woolly one, but a good one. When I was at home mucking around with this, I plugged one of my other SGs in and I went to the neck, and it was really rich, really, can't describe it. I can hear it in my head now. It's very, very different kind of openness, which it doesn't really do. Well, maybe it does with the right pedals, but I don't think it's, I mean, I think it's fair to say that this rig, single P90, wrap over tailbridge, one volume, one tone, is versatile. You can do loads with it, but I don't think, you know, don't get the impression that it's as versatile as a two pickup guitar. But it has its benefits over a two pickup guitar, two pickup guitar, because it makes you really think more about your playing and more about what you're doing with the one pickup. So it's actually quite a good. It's an education actually. If you've been put off with single pickup guitars, what's wrong with you? Give it a go, because it is a bit of an education. You think more about trying to get the tone from your fingers and from the controls you've got, rather than giving up and going, oh, I'll go to the neck pickup, because that, you know, you can do a lot with that finger. You can do a lot with your fingers and your pick. And a guitar like this, encourages that, encourages you to experiment a little bit more. So brilliant, yeah, brilliant guitar. And this one, it's great, isn't it? You know, it's absolutely I was trying to think, have I made any? Have I criticised this in any way? I don't think I have I? I found it great. It all worked. The neck was comfortable. The frets are great. It stays in tune. It's an SG Junior. Right, so I'll show you. Yeah, I'm going to show you the case now. Actually, before we move on to the next bit, let me put this down. It's £549 English pounds, and it comes with a pretty nice hard case that they've obviously tooled up for this, because it's not your standard. It's not your. I don't know what I'm talking about this morning. Let's have a look at it. It's like this. Look, it's got a lovely pink lining. Nice case. Proper. And it's got the Yungblud sticker inside. No Yungblud identification on the guitar at all. Not a signature, not a thing. But they give you this bumper sticker. So I'm still trying to decide whether I stick this on the back of one of my vehicles. I could put it on the panniers on one of my motorbikes. What do you reckon? I'll think about that. And beyond that, all you get is a bag with some more stickers, Epiphone stuff, and a little Allen key. Where's my fingers? For the grub screw on the tail bridge to adjust the intonation if you want to. I didn't get a truss rod Allen key with this, a naughty Epiphone. Fortunately, I've got 100, so it wasn't a problem. But no, there wasn't one in here. There wasn't one in the bag for some reason. So it's an oversight. I'm sure they do provide one with this guitar. Anyway, I didn't get one. But there you go. That's the case. So I think this is a really good price. $549 with case. I'm pretty sure this is the cheapest new release from Epiphone in something like 2 years. I've been on their mailing list for about 2 years, and I get an email every time they release one of their exciting new artist signatures. And there's been nothing. There's been no, as far as I'm aware, there's been no new releases that aren't an artist signature. So they've concentrated on that. And I know, they've got the original range, the Inspired by Gibson range. They're still making those. They've eked the prices up a little bit, but they're still making those. So no complaints there. But there have been things like this that we've wanted. There are still models that they could release that we want. 56 Les Paul, with P90s. We all want that. When are you going to release that Epiphone? We've been asking for an SG Junior for ages, so finally we get this. It's an artist signature. Thank God they've been sensible and put a sensible price on it. $549. I'm going to just look at some of the other things that come out. There's a long list. I'm not going to go through all this because it'll be really boring. So I'm just going to pick a couple of examples that I think were stupidly overpriced and how really the buying public have tended to agree and driven the prices down. We'll start with the Tony Iommi, I suppose, because that's pretty much the same as this, although it's got one extra pickup. And when that dropped, that was £969. The good thing is, if you like that, you can get one of those today for $699. So they didn't do especially well. The 1959 Les Paul, look, new open book headstock, 1959 Les Paul, £1,199, which was like, oh crikey, that's a lot. You can buy that today for £999 because that's dropped a couple of £100. I'm gonna talk about the Joe Bonamassa SG, the 63 SG Custom that I paid £1,499 for when it came out. You can buy that today for £1,029 is the example I'm showing you. I think Andertons have got one of those for £999. So £500 off. That's what I lost when I sold that on. So, you know, big numbers on those. And Adam Jones, should we talk about Adam Jones? There were a lot of those, weren't they? The first ones, which seemed like quite a nice idea, they sort of sold, limited edition, 800 of each. They can't get rid of the last couple of releases. The Queen Bee, which was the last art version, £1,349. Yeah, £999 they're going for. I'm tempted. I would be tempted if I felt like paying £1,000 for an Epiphone Les Paul, which I just don't for some reason. I'm sure it's great. The Firebirds, that was a disappointment because we all wanted that Firebird. A lot of people paid £1,699 for one. That was a success. It sold out, but I just don't feel right. It don't feel right that Epiphone charged that much for it. So, and the list goes on, and I'm going to stop now. No, I've got to mention a couple of potential errors. Dave Mustaine Flying V, £1,599. Didn't do so well. Today, again, you can pick that up, £500 off, £1,099. And the Carina V, it's earned on the Carina Flying V because I bought one of those. I paid £1,299 for that. And you can buy one today at Andertons for £899. So they finally dropped to what we all thought they should have been in the first place. So there you go. So this is a good deal at $549. I really hope that Epiphone have kind of listened or listen to what the buying public are saying. Presumably the dealers are telling them, because I'm not certain, but I'm wondering who takes the hit, because these, they would have had a price tag on them. The margins might not have been that massive, and for dealers to be discounting these by up to a third, one wonders. I wonder anyway what sort of margin is left, if any, for the dealers who are locked into the contract, with Gibson and Epiphone. And if Epiphone make these things and decide they're going to do it, then the dealers have got to stock them and sell them. There you go. Anyway, so this is the real deal, as David Dickinson would say. I love it. Now, that's again my ill-informed views on Epiphone pricing. Let's talk about thumbnails. Because in the end, I'm not sure because I haven't actually finally made it and posted it yet, but I think I went with the white trash thumbnail. I had a little bit of a fun competition actually over on the Guitaristas TV channel. When I bought this, I unboxed this on the TV channel. If you're a subscriber there, thank you. You saw it, and I said, "What should I do? What's the thumbnail?" Because thumbnails so important on YouTube. And it often doesn't bear any resemblance to actually the content. But the thing is, if you don't make a thumbnail that appeals in some way and people click on it, the content doesn't get watched, because if it doesn't get enough clicks straight away, YouTube decides it's no good and doesn't show the film to anyone. So it's a bit of a game we have to play. And I was trying to think of a thumbnail for this. The winner was Jerry K, obviously. If I used it, Jerry, I think I'm going to. I wasn't going to up until this morning, and then this morning I thought, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. So white trash it is, and obviously not in any way suggesting that Yungblud is white trash, or any of his fans are, God forbid. What I'm saying is this white guitar trash? No, it's not. It's brilliant. Okay, so just in case, I'm sure that anyone that saw that and reacted in the adverse way. Certainly won't be watching at this point to see my explanation, but that's all it is. It seemed like a catchy thumbnail. It seemed like the sort of thing that people might click on and go, what the fuck's that all about? Well, there it is. Is the guitar any good? Yeah, it is. It's brilliant. I love it. I really love this guitar, and I shall absolutely hang on to this. It will join, you know, we've got the Maybach Albatross Junior there. You can see that, can't you? And of course, I've got my original Gibson 62 Les Paul SG Junior in the back room there. So will gives us an excuse to drag those out in the future. I've also got quite a collection of single pickup P90 guitars now. I've got a stack, actually. I've got a couple of Eastmans, nice Eastmans. I've got the Epiphone Coronet that I bought recently. I've got the Epiphone Import Coronet. I've got an old Gibson Melody Maker Les Paul in the back room. Honestly, this is coming off my head. I've probably got loads more than that. So I think what we'll have to do is we'll do another hot singles comparison, I think, at some point. That's a good thumbnail, hot singles. I did that once. I might do that again because I've got more subscribers now, so I'll probably get loads on that. They'll think, oh, it's sex. It's not. It's about P90 guitars. But that's how it works. People will be picking. Anyway, I'll make myself laugh then. I'm going now. That's it. That's all for this week. Thanks for putting up with that, really. Come back next week. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. Oh, okay. There's another single. Hang on. Another single pickup SG-like guitar. This is a Guild. I've had it so long, I can't even remember what it's called. Night Edition or something. It's a Polara Night Edition or something. And I've been, look at the dust. You know what? The only reason I haven't reviewed this yet, this sounds stupid, but it's true. I can't, I'm trying to think of a thumbnail that will attract it, you know, attract the views, because it's a great, that's my chair squeaking, sorry. It's a lovely looking guitar. It sounds great, but the game is, well, how do I get people to click on it and watch it? I know, sad, isn't it? So if you've got any ideas for the thumbnail of this here on YouTube, let me know. Yeah, let's not go there. Come back next week, same time, same place. Might be this, might not be. Let's see. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Cheers.